Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. This is Mickey here. I'm just gonna be doing a bit of a Sunday night update. The markets are, the overnight markets are open. It's just futures trading. Not too much to it, really. Everything is green, obviously, because we're oversold and the buyers are coming overnight. But we'll have to see how it opens. It's not how they open; it's how they close. So that's the important part to market. We got some new weekly candles. We're going to be taking a look at on Market Cipher, and we're going to be covering just a bit of the monthly time frame ones as well. So let's get into it right now. So starting off with the S&P, not not too surprising. We're still very bearish with a 12 and a -4 on the dual band strength index. Same for the Nasdaq, 14 and a -5. The Nasdaq is actually increasing, and the Dow Jones is showing a 10 and a 2, and the Russell 2000, the worst one of them all, a 12 and a -2, especially with this monthly blood diamond with a 22 and a -5 and a red dot here, and a decreasing red money flow. So again, I know the dip buyers all over YouTube are screaming to buy calls, buy the dip. This is the dip to buy. Uh, Long everything. Everything is so cheap, and I mean, to me, it's just a little bit, not just a little bit, but a lot of delusion that's gonna hit them really hard once the market starts to come down significantly more, in my opinion. But we'll get into that in just a bit. Let's take a look at maybe some shorter time frames. Maybe we can find a potential bottom soon. Russell 2000 showing a green dot here, but again, we've seen not just this one. This one was a nice little bottom. We got to bounce up, but we got one here, and we got one here as well. And if you would have bought here and held, and you'd be down more than 7% now on the Russell. And given the nature of people, you tend to use leverage, so they're probably down significantly more. And this is because, but markets are not done bottoming, in my opinion. So we could take a look here, like the bullish scenario. We'll start off with the bullish scenario. We are essentially coming down in a fifth wave here in an ABC correction in a wave 4, and this is supposed to propel us to new highs, right? So this is supposed to get us all the way to basically nominal all-time highs. We'll have to see that if the markets come lower and raise divergence, then that means you're essentially not in a fifth wave, you're in a third wave, and that's a crash wave, which means this scenario is not accurate, and it's more something like this, where this is a 1-2 setup. So I'll just type in something here very quickly, just label it as 1. Let me just type it very quickly. I didn't have time to type it earlier, so this is your 1. Oh, that's really big. Let me just make it a little bit smaller. Maybe 20 should be good. So that's your 1, your wave 1, and then you're getting a wave 2 now, and that's going to be right here. So that's a 1, 1, 2, and then another 1, 2, and then you're coming down in a wave 3, which is a crash wave, which is really the one that you don't want to get in front of. And that's all I'm seeing on CNBC, and at least some of the YouTubers I'm watching. I mean, they've been buying this dip here, and they added more here, and they're buying more here, and they're buying more here, and they're just gonna keep buying until they get over leveraged, and then they're gonna blow up, and then that's when usually you're gonna finalize the third wave, and then you're gonna bounce in wave 4, and then come back down into wave 5, and this is gonna start an entire cycle lower, which is gonna be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a bigger wave C towards the downside. This is something I didn't understand this rally. So much delusion. Just taking a look at Nvidia and a lot of these tech stocks that are getting ready to make lower lows, and it's like it's starting to happen, but there's still so much disbelief and denial that this is gonna start happen. So there's just so much buying right now, and the yields are pushing higher. They actually gapped open, and again, this is something I'll be covering as well in the later part of the video. But just know that this is where the markets are most likely starting to head now, given that we've broken through key support metrics from this upsloping trend line from the lows, hitting the March 20 low, not the March 20 lows, the October 2022 lows, and then hitting that significant pivot on volume as well, when the S&P had bank failures with the Fed coming in with money printing, and now you've broken past below that. Unless you recapture it, this is the most likely the count that's going to be happening. And for a potential target of the bottom of a wave 3, you can drag it down here like this, and then you can head over to the 100 to the 236. So right around this area is a potential buy zone for a bounce in wave 3 to wave 4. But if you start to break lower and you start to head past 395, in my opinion, I think you're sorry, 3,995 or 395 on the SPY. This is really going to be a problem. This can turn into a calamity very quickly, and it can get out of hand. Okay, so that's probably what you want to do, and then you'll get a bounce back up, and maybe very quickly in the coming days, and then you'll get maybe Jerome Powell speaking, and then you can start to head back down in your wave 5. Maybe you'll bounce around 3,800 if that happens. I'm even surprised how quickly we've gotten down here. And I mean, I've been well positioned in shorts, and whoever's been following me inside my Discord, you guys have been doing really well overall. But it's just know what's happening, and this could bleed into crypto as well. But again, you can go look at my crypto analysis on my YouTube channel. But I don't want to promote anything here other than this content right now. And okay, so that's basically what's happening. Let's take a look at the dollar. Okay. So the dollar, another significant, piece of information is that the dollar is most likely heading higher. I've been talking about this, and there's a lot of people are saying the dollar's topped out. That's it. It's getting ready to crash, and yes, that may be so, but it's not ready. It's following essentially the same pattern that I think the market it was, maybe like an extended ABC. And it's going to come back down way lower, but it's just not ready. And I think you got higher to go, and you're most likely going to come back up maybe to 110, 111, and that's when the market's probably going to start bottoming out, or I don't know what's going to happen then. But when I look at the weekly time frame on market site for the dollar, has been showing weakness in the last couple of weeks. But consolidation at the highs, it's been struggling. And the bears have been trying to push it lower and lower, and it's not working. And the dollar had very strong dual band strength index numbers, and now you have a 5 and 2. Okay, so now the dollar could be getting ready to head higher. You have just crossed into red money flow right now, or you're basically at the zero line, but you haven't seen any, any weekly close yet. So again, the dollar could surge this week and cause it to flip back into green money flow. When you look at the daily, it's looking quite, actually not the daily, I think it was the 4-hour. I think you look at the 4-hour, it's actually looking quite good. You got strong dual band strength index numbers, but that's some shorter time frame stuff. I'm just focusing on the bigger picture right now on the dollar and the monthly time frame. This is one that's extremely bullish with the 16 and the -5. So this to me looks like the dollar is getting ready to go higher. And then let me just take a look at yields here. So again, the bond yields. So the yields are in a interesting position right now because you got Bill Ackman closing his bond short, which caused a bunch of people to get out of their shorts as well, to close them out. But the yields are essentially still consolidating. You got this big tail on the 20-year. I don't know if that's accurate, but maybe it is because we didn't see any action on the TLT. Sorry, let me stand up, raise my desk because my legs are numb right now. But yeah, let me just keep going here. So the 20-year is right now consolidating at its highs. It's got bearish divergence, but if you push higher, which is what I think it will do, because yields can continue on the long end of the curve, they can continue going higher. And there's a lot of people that are trying to bottom take the TLT right now, which is, I'm also long a little bit the TLT, but it could cause the yields to go even higher, which, people are going to keep adding to the TLT regardless. But right now the TLT is near all-time lows. And if you take out those lows, you could have a bunch of panic selling that could start to occur. Okay. So the yields on the weekly have a red dot right now. On the weekly time frame, which is good for a potential top, but when you look at the monthly, they're still looking very bullish. especially on the 10-year as well, looking very strong. Green money flow, no signs of a top yet. And then looking at the shorter time frames like the daily, you're also getting strong dual band strength index towards the downside. So maybe we'll get a pullback and then up week. So this could be the bullish case for the market. But I think every time we've seen this, they just keep pushing higher. All right, so that's just something important to note, is that yields can go higher, although the TLT is getting extremely oversold and you got a big bullish divergence. Okay, but that's just my opinion, right? The charts tell you that it's bullish, but my opinion is that they could very well keep pushing higher, and they're pushing higher right now in the overnight. But we'll have to see how everything opens and closes tomorrow. Everything is pumping up in the after hours, but it doesn't mean that the market doesn't get a new piece of information at the open and then you just gap down lower. Okay, so I think that's about it. I don't really have much to add. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. And if you've been profiting off this channel, and thank you for 100 subscribers, leave a like and comment. Peace.